Okay, let's do it. Let's start plugin system. Okay, so sorry. Let's first start what I already did. So basically we created, well, I did some small stuff, and I created as well a public API, which is just an abstract class with CMS plugin, which is the basic for our plugin, and we're using a PF4J Spring. Then on the application itself, I started writing a plugin loader and a plugin manager. I overwritten Spring plugin manager, so we only use a manifest plugin descriptor, which basically looks for plugin properties inside the manifest of our jar. In our plugin loader, we are basically saying, okay, our plugin path is our user dir, so our working dir, and their plugins. So then we log it out for convenience. Then we initialize our plugin manager and we set our application context. So after that, what we can do is we can say plugin manager.load plugins. What this basically will do is in our working dir. So if I go to okay, it's stuck. Nice. So we have our CMS working dir. We will have here a folder called plugins, and in here we will store our jars that are our plugins. So basically what this does is we will load the plugins, but will not start it yet. So basically we will write state, which will be a JSON file, and once the state is written, we can start and stop the plugins, because Spring Boot controller mappings doesn't allow to refresh it really easily. We will basically restart our API completely when we start and stop up a certain plugin. So basically what we do here in the init will be checking if we have a file, a JSON file, and map it. It's not easy. I'm not sure how to do it just yet. Let's see. The plugin wrapper has the plugin state. No, it's covered already. It's a class, which is okay. But we need basically yeah, we will call it a little bit different. So we do this one. Ba-ba-bum. State. So basically, we want these states. Here it's called a status in that object. We will as well yeah. So what we will do here is say public static final string array with allowed plugin states, and now we say we want so we only want 2 states of our plugin. The framework supports more, so we can disable and stuff of plugins. Resolved is a big one, and created as well, but our state is basically for us, do we want this plugin to be started or stopped? It's not the plugin name, but it's the ID, and then we will put add data to generate getters and setters, so Jackson can parse this one. So but there is a possibility that we do not have our plugin state JSON. And I will create private static string default plugin state JSON name, and we will private static final, of course, and we say plugin dash state dot JSON. Then we say var state JSON paths.get system.get property user dir. We have plugins, and I will as well okay, and we will duplicate this one. Public plugin dir is just plugins, so we can have variables for this one. It's a bit cleaner. So if exist state JSON path So we will have two private functions, basically private void string void, load from JSON. We accept the path JSON path, and we will have the same load from scratch. So when we are loading it from scratch, the default thing we will do is just start all the plugins, and when not all plugins are, but basically when we start all plugins, we will as well load in the state and everything is started, and then with the UI on the outer part we can switch this out eventually. So we will say plugin manager dot start plugins, which starts all plugins. Let me check what we all need. So this one gives a list. No. Okay. Then what we can do is we can say plugin manager dot get started plugins, which gives a list of plugin wrappers. Now we say for each load beans this register beans for plugin, and we create that method. So we will do we'll say a log debug we say plugin wrapper dot get name, get plugin ID. Okay, so we say class names equals plugin manager dot get plugin manager, sorry, get class names for what we'll do is for plugin ID equals plugin wrapper get ID. Yeah, sorry, this is not going as smooth as you should think, but it's something I have never done before, so I need to think about it as well. By the way, if you have questions, you can just shout them in the chat, and I will try to solve them, I guess. I don't know. I see my webcam is on the floor. Maybe I'll put it on. Or is it stuck? Looks good. Okay. Dum dum dum. Yeah. So basically we want, so the plugins work with extensions. and the extensions are the public part of the plugin that's exposed to the main host application. So we need to register those extensions as beans. So we want the class names of those extensions, and then we say because this one gives a set, we as well want to just say dot for each register bean for extension, and we will create this method as well. And we say class name. So we say we'll have a try catch in here, and we will catch a class not found. And we'll say log.error a get message, and so we have a small log.debug. And then we say we need to pass our plugin as well. Okay, we will need to say class name. And then of course just put this and say class name. It's not ideal, but it's okay. I rather read it like this, but if it's one line, it's fine. That's why I as well create all those private methods. So what we'll say is plugin wrapper dot get plugin class loader, and we say load class with class name. Then we say bean factory, which is our abstract outward capable bean factory dot register singleton, and we say extension. Yes, and extension factory. We need an extension factory. We can say plugin manager dot get extension factory dot create and then class name. Of course, we cannot do it with class name. We need to do it with extension, and this one needs to be class name. Okay, I think that handles the creation of the bean. Yes. So our load from scratch, basically we start all plugins, the get started plugins, and we loop over those to register the beans for the plugin. So now from the JSON. So we want we say just for basic content file utils. We could use Apache Commons, I guess. Read lines, read file to string. So it's basically this one. So Apache Commons, did we already include it? Let's check here. We do not have it apparently. It's commons.io. And we have it, and it's 2.6. And which one includes it? ZCMS. We already included it, so we do not need the version. Then we can say file utils dot read. Yeah, we included, of course, the wrong one. Read file. We choose UTF-8, which will throw an IO exception. We just throw it to the top. Spring will complain and not boot, which is the point. So now we have our string content. So we say JSON mapper equals no object. We need the data bind, okay, but we don't need that one because it's part of the Spring Boot and that's our parent. We already have it. So we have our object mapper and we will say var plugin state equals JSON mapper read. Read. Oh, it can as well read a file, I guess. Object mapper reads list. We want, of course, a list, so we will say JSON. Wait, new type reference, a list of ZCMS plugin state, and it's wrong. Why? Type reference is abstract. Okay, and we need to do this. Difficult syntax. Then we don't need this, which means we can remove the commons. So we have our list of well, I think I will need to say it clearly that it's a list of ZMS plugin state. And then we say plugin state dot for each. No, we will start the stream. Now we do filter. So we want to start a certain plugin. Plugin ID. We do not want that one. We want just a normal action, so Java stream action. You speak, method to log about what speak, returns a stream consisting of the elements of the stream. Okay, so we'll do say dot speak plugin wrapper start plugin. Okay, we will do it like this. So we say start plugin state dot get id. So this starts our plugin, which will resolve all the stuff. Then we want the plugin, then we register it as a bean. Which is nice. So, okay, to recap, and our load for script is also not done. So basically, what we do here is okay, we want to load our plugins. Yeah. Then we say okay, we filter out the plugins that do not have an allowed state. We filter out the plugins that are not started. Once we do that, we say okay, we start the plugin, then we get the plugin, and we register the beans. So this will basically for all our started states start all our plugins, I guess. I'm thinking what we need to do as well. In here we need to write away our plugin state. Let me think. Okay, so we will have a little bit less imports. So we will have private list of plugin states. And we will load it in here. So let's say plugin states. It's of course CMS plugin state. It fixes our errors. Who would have thought that writing it was so difficult? Well, I don't know. So You want to have an action, we say peak. Stream, we say peak. Get the plugin wrapper, okay. So we have plugin wrapper, and now we say PluginState.add new CMS plugin rate state, and we will add some constructors, all arc constructors, and no arc constructor as well. Okay. So now we can add the ID. So we have plugin wrapper dot get plugin ID, and it's started. So this will add it to all the states. Then we have a private void rewrite JSON. Rewrite state file. We will just say we have a final state JSON path, which we will init over here. Path.get plugin path. Just add this one. Now we don't need this anymore. When it's done, we say here rewrite state file, which will make it a little bit clearer. And then what we can do as well is find object mapper. So we don't need this one, and we call it object mapper. We will write plugin states, which will throw possibly an exception. So we catch the error and log it. So will it overwrite? That's what I'm asking. Let's check. I guess it will override. So this would already start, but it wouldn't write anything, I guess. Let's boot and see what exceptions we get. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Close it up. Let's check the properties of our author. It's normal. Okay, let's do it again. I don't know if they're coming into the plugin loader. I don't think so because we're not scanning it yet. Hmm. So we have configuration, and we say a component scan. Base packages. So basically, we're saying here we have a basic Spring plugin, the ZCMS plugin config. What we will do in our author, which is so it's the same like this, but then we will call it plugin config. Plugin config doesn't have a mob, doesn't have this, and we will import ZCMS plugin config. But we will need to add it to our POM as well. So we'll add it under the. And now we say core dash plugin. Okay, and now it will have an import, which now will basically go to this one. This one says do a component scan of the core plugin dot take API. No, not the API. It's not an API. It's the implementation. If we now refresh, I hope to see log messages. And a pooh. I don't know what it is. Let's look it up. Does this fix the problem? Nope. I don't know on what it. Hmm. Uh, outer backends, show dependencies. Oh. Spring Boot starter logging, that's okay. So the Spring PF4G Spring exclusion. Okay, let's do. So like this. Let's see if this solves anything. Huh. Well. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I hate Maven. So if I look at the I need to as well do exclusion of the log classic, I think, from this Spring Boot dependency. Okay, this one is possible then. I don't know. This sucks. Real bad. Yeah, let's see. I don't know, man. If I do... Then we don't have any... Okay. So if I say here just exclude log4j, we get another error. Okay, we get the same. Okay. Dus die moeten we dan waarschijnlijk ook... Die moeten we waarschijnlijk excluden. Dice? Huh. Wow. What kind of bullshit is this? I'm trying to remove it. Can I just spring boot starter? And if I do it as well on every spring, man, what is this? What is this? Well, we have it back. It wasn't easy, but we have it back. So it's logging and okay, we fixed our Spring dependency issues, which is always fun. Wow. And what does it say here? Error creating beans in CCMS plugin. We have a null pointer. Load from JSON, which is okay. A little check to make it more security proof. But it loads null. Which makes sense. Just say which will then fix it. Because it's null because we do not have any plugins yet. But yeah, now it will write just an empty list. And as you can see, it's an empty list now, so which is correct. So it's checking our working their plugins, which is good. We have no plugins, which is as well fine. So basically, we should create our first plugin and start testing. But let's do this another stream. It's already pretty late for me, as you can see. It's 10 before 1. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe.